Hi friends of Hudson Montessori School. My name is Matt Virgil. I'm the head here at HMS, and I thank you for giving me some time to talk to you about this past year at Hudson Montessori School and looking forward. And I'm actually coming to you talking to from our library, and it is quiet, and that's abnormal, but for the last 12 weeks has been our reality because our campus, as I'm sure you are aware, has been closed. What I want to report to you is that the 2019-20 school year was, despite its uniqueness and its challenges, was a great success. Leading up to our campus closure, we had exciting things going on in every classroom, from our youngest program serving infants all the way up to our middle school. And then obviously with COVID-19, we were presented with a significant challenge. On very short notice, we had to pivot from our in-place learning to distance-based learning. We did that in almost essentially a weekend, and we continued it from the middle of March through the end of the school year. And I have spent a lot of time talking to parents and to students and to our teachers, and there's a couple of themes that I want to report to you about our distance learning. The first is that it was successful. It was successful from all of those groups. The experience that they had is that learning was purposeful and it was personalized. It continued to be that. That's like something we do very well when we are in person, and it continued in a distance-based format. So academic growth continued for students. Lessons were given every day. Teachers were touching base with students to continue lessons. There were also opportunities to continue social growth. That was a challenge in distance-based learning. Is how do you do that when you're confined to your house? And we thought very creatively on how to do that, and got very good feedback from parents that despite the challenges that we did that well. So, I want to again summarize that our experience with distance learning was positive. And the other thing that I need to communicate is that we do anticipate challenges next year financially at the school. We know that there are going to be families that cannot continue on at Hudson Montessori School, and that has an impact on our program. We also know that we are not going to have as robust a summer program this summer that plays a very important role in our entire financial operations. And so we are going to have challenges next year. And so what I want to do is I want to thank you for your support of Hudson Montessori School in the past. I'm very grateful for it, and I want to just say how important it is going to be that you continue to give in the future, and that I would be even more grateful for your support. And if you have not supported in the past, or it's lapsed, maybe this is a good year for that to start again. And so, in advance, I appreciate your consideration to help us through this time. The other thing that I would say is that if you're not in a position to give, we understand, and it would be wonderful if you take a moment and write a letter to a teacher that is still at HMS and had an impact on your child. Let them know what that impact was. I can tell you that our teachers worked probably harder than they have ever worked these past 12 weeks to do that distance learning, and so I think hearing from you would be great. You could just send that letter to our school, and we will get that to them. I'm sure they will be appreciative. Lastly, we thought it would be neat for you to see a few familiar faces, perhaps from when you were parents at our school, and so we reached out to them, and they made some videos about saying hello and also just saying how important HMS was. So I hope you enjoy watching those, and I appreciate you listening to me. Thank you.
Hello everyone. I'm Julie Brown, retired head of Hudson Montessori School, where I had the great fortune of serving the community for 16 years. I have so many wonderful memories of my time at HMS, but I think what I remember most fondly is that sense of community, really of you, of families and children and staff. And that sense of community continues to inspire me today and feel hopeful about the future, especially during these challenging times. It has been incredibly inspiring to keep up with all of the alumni news, to hear about the great successes as professionals and parents and partners and community contributors really living the mission of the school. But there's no doubt about it, we are living in unprecedented times. And right now, many of us are looking for ways to express support for those things we value, for places that are difference makers and have impacted us in positive ways. And naturally, many of us look to our alma mater, our college and our high school. And it's the very place that provided the foundation that kind of gets lost in the shuffle. And here's what I've seen from my years in education. Indisputably, the place you learn and develop your core principal values, the qualities that take you through life, is early childhood. Your early years in school are where you absorb these core values that make for fantastic adults, which is you, our alumni, our families. You are living proof of that. So I hope that during this time you'll remember HMS, a difference maker. I appreciate having this time with you, even though I can't see you in person. Be well, and thank you so much.
My name is Achamma Koshy, known to many at Hudson Montessori as Mrs. Koshy. A few years after my retirement, my husband and I moved to Florida to be near our son and his family. I used to call Hudson Montessori as my second home, but even now, not a day goes by without reminiscing the happy memories of that second home, especially my relationships with my students and their parents. After all these years, I am still in communication with some of my former students when they tell me how much their experiences at Hudson Montessori have contributed to further their studies and their careers. It really warms my heart. So Hudson Montessori deserves all the help it needs during this time of pandemic crisis. Hudson Montessori definitely is a hidden gem in the Hudson community. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Steve Gyomber. I'm a retired upper elementary teacher. I taught for 15 years at Hudson Montessori School. The first time I walked into a Montessori classroom was in 1981 as a parent looking for a school for our children. We were so impressed with the Montessori prepared environment and the approach the teachers had toward the children. We knew this is the way we wanted our children to be educated. I found that same prepared environment and same wonderful and dedicated teachers when I came to Hudson Montessori School. During my tenure at the school, I grew in not only my understanding of Montessori, but also in my affection and respect for the school community. My time at the school had a profound effect on me due to the caring and positive interactions with the HMS community. I treasure all the relationships I've made at the school with adults and students alike. While I am retired from teaching, I still value and support Hudson Montessori and all the wonderful work that continues to be done for the children.
Hello, Mrs. Case here. I had the fortune and blessing of having many of you in my classroom in Children's House. I have wonderful memories of teaching stamp game and metal insets, handwriting, scrubbing tables, tying shoes, movable alphabet, sandpaper letters, all of those lessons that were the ground floor for your education. And many of you have come back to Hudson Montessori School and shared your accomplishments with us, and it has been a joy hearing those stories. I love how you always find your way back home to Hudson Montessori School. This is where your educational journey began. And as you move along on this journey, please remember Hudson Montessori School. Come back anytime and say hello.
Hi, I'm Miss Laura, and I'm celebrating 30 years at Hudson Montessori School. I remember so many of you. You entered my classroom in first level, and during your 3 years there, we learned so many new and exciting things. We learned about test tubes and the checkerboard and the colorful grammar boxes. We learned to write poetry together, do readers' theater, and we placed plants and animals on the timeline of life mural. You know, my children, my two sons, are alumni of Hudson Montessori School, and now their children are attending Montessori schools in Dayton and San Diego. I hope you'll help me celebrate my 30 years by stopping in to say hello. I'd really love to see you all.
Hi everyone, Miss Loomis here. As many of you know, Hudson Montessori School has been such an important, vital part of my life through Children's House and lower and upper elementary to now being able to have come back and experience teaching has just been amazing. Words cannot express alone how much this school has impacted my life, and being able to have watched so many of you and your children come up through our classrooms has been absolutely extraordinary. I want to invite you all and encourage you all to keep Hudson Montessori in your thoughts and your travels as you are growing and continue your learning. We would love to hear about everything that you are doing, so keep us in mind. Take care.
Hi, I'm Mary Blatnik, and I just celebrated 26 years at Hudson Montessori School. I remember so many of the children fondly. When you all came into my classroom and shook my hand, learned sandpaper letters, and the excitement of reading your first book. I remember playing outdoors and exploring the woods, making art projects. This is where your learning began. I'd love to hear from you. Stop by or drop me a note.